right, this is a sort of an amalgam of similar thoughts here. Who are you, media people, are you closest to, in your opinions? And we'd just like to go real quick, pick up the mic, just shout it out. Are you closest to which of these four? Glenn Beck, Rush Limbaugh, Bill O'Reilly, Oprah. Mr. Adcock. You can pass if you like, I guess, if you want, but it's an interesting non-question question.
One of the things that make town hall so much fun is getting interesting questions. I don't know, because I don't study them, but Glenn Beck seems to be a rule of law kind of person, that the law is supreme. Certainly the Constitution is the supreme law of the land.
All right, well, that's fine. We'll go down the line there, Mr. Hawkins.
Yeah, I'm a better looking version of all three.
He said he's a better looking version of all three, so I'll let you judge. I think it's a trick question, and here's why I say that. I don't think there's a lot of difference between these guys. They're all conservatives, they're all for the Constitution, and they're all for getting the government going back in the right direction. Now, they may have slight varying views on how we get there, but they still have very central core conservative principles, and they don't twist in the wind. They take their principles and they apply them to the problems. So I think it's a little bit of a trick question. I
assume you took Oprah out of it.
From my perspective, I'll take all the above because there's a little of all.
Except for Oprah.
Except Oprah.
Okay.
Except Oprah. Let me just clarify that.
Gotta have a sense of humor. All right. You guys are spending too much time together. Anyway, all right. So let's move on. We just have time for a couple more questions in your closing statements. How have you been involved in your community prior to running for office? Can you tell us something about not your business work, but your community work that says something about you that might be important? And Mr. Quinter, why don't you start?
Well, I've always tried to be involved in my community. It goes all the way back to right when I was in college. I coached youth soccer in college, and my kids are young now, so my time commitments away from work are a little bit more constrained. But here's the general principle that I operate under. When you can lend a helping hand, that's what you do. And that's what I try to do. I'm involved in a lot of professional organizations. I offer my time from a legal perspective on a free basis so that people can have the help. And I'm the type of guy that if you were to call me up and say, hey, I have this little issue I want to deal with, can you talk to me about it? Can you work through it with me? That's how I do it. I don't go out joining a ton of organizations because I like to commit to one thing or two things and do them well and do them great so that people get the benefit of it.
Mr. Adcock.
To this point in my life, I've been totally in the private sector, both in business and in the community. Socially, that's where I have put my efforts, along with my family, my business, and that. I've been on the board of the USO since 9/11. I just went off due to term limits, but it was wonderful to support the service people and their families who are supporting us. I have a great deal of progress that was made during those last 6 years. I'm on the board of Sunday Breakfast Rescue Mission, which helps the homeless, providing food, clothing, and shelter to more than 100, 150 or so men each night. Many of them being veterans who are down on their luck. It also has Wayne Hall, which is in conjunction with that. Women, single moms, given an opportunity to have their children taken care of while they're educated and provided jobs. I've been with Urban Family Council working with urban youth, Young Life with suburban youth. I worked on the school boards of private boards that are providing education, educational choice. These are a few of the things. I was on Regency Foundation at a university. I have committed to and been a doer rather than a talker. My walk meets most of what I believe. Thank you.
In the last 2 years, the Philadelphia Police Department has seen 6 police officers murdered and 1 firefighter killed in the line of duty. For those officers, I've always held fundraisers immediately after their murders, and usually a couple weeks after I have another fundraiser, as well as for the firefighter. All the money went directly to the families. There was no middleman involved at all. All that was, I don't brag about this, but all that came right out of my own pocket. I didn't care. We had to take care of the families, and we knew it, and we did it. We run fundraisers at Smoke Eater's Pub. It's got to be 2 a month. We have one on the 22nd that we know is going to be huge. We do fundraisers from fire department causes like the Hero Scholarship Fund, the Burn Foundation, whatever. We do many. And we have breast cancer fundraisers. We have fundraisers for children with cancer. It just goes on and on and on. I do so much I do so many charity fundraisers. I could literally do one in my sleep if I really had to. I try to be involved in the community. I have 2 sons. One plays ice hockey. They both play baseball. So I coach both baseball teams, 1 t-ball, 1 baseball. And I coach ice hockey for my 7-year-old. So as you can imagine, I have a lot of patience. But I try to get involved as best I can in my community. From a fire department perspective, just as a firefighter, we try to get ourselves ingrained in the community, whether it's for Fill the Boot for MDA or a multitude of other charities that we've gotten involved in. And I've always been proud to be part of each and every one of them.
Thank you.
Just a moment. There was one more organization. I did coach Little League, but I didn't include that because there were people in the community who thought it wasn't a community service.